master craftsman people should look up to. I thought I was making it clear how beautiful the process is. It's just how the words come out when I write. I didn't think it mattered all that much, as long as the ideas were clear. The Knights of the Round Table. I used to read all about their adventures, and I'd always get stuck on the paths when they described armor. What type of steel was it? What kind of joints did it use? How did it move with the body? I needed to know how all the pieces fit together. Knights are impressive, yes, but what really caught my interest was how their armor worked. It's not just about charging into battle like people think. There's a logic to it. A system. I suppose the stories of adventure and heroism are part of it too. But armor, a knight can't fight. And there's something satisfying about that kind of precision. Dangerous? How could writing about armorsmithing be dangerous? I don't understand. I'm not telling anyone to go into battle with the things I make. I'm just documenting the process, the way I see it, the way I learn. It's no different than a chronicler writing about wars or knights. Their words don't cause harm. My books, they're meant to show how beautiful armorsmithing is. I love the craft, the intricacies, the details. Dangerous. But that doesn't make sense. Why would they trust me more than actual armorers? I'm just someone who loves writing about the craft. Why would anyone take my words over the words of someone who's been working metal their whole life? I thought they'd see it for what it is. Just the way I understand things. It's not meant to replace real experience. I'm perplexed. How could anyone think that? But I never said I was a master. Just because my books are printed doesn't make me an expert. I'm clearly still figuring things out. It doesn't make sense to put so much faith in someone who's still learning. They should know better. I hear what you say, but it doesn't seem fair. I didn't want any of this. I didn't ask for people to like they're the law. I just wanted to share my ideas. If I stop now, then what was the point of everything I've done? That would be practical. If I just say up front that it's not finished, people won't make the mistake of thinking it's expert advice. Yes, that might solve the problem. I can still write what I want, and they'll have no reason to misinterpret it. Please, tell my father to contact my publisher. I'm too busy right now to talk to him, and later I might forget.
Nice to see you. So, did you find what you were looking for? He sure is. As skilled as any four-dweller, ambitious as a knight of the Round Table. Only shame is, he can't seem to leave that cursed basement. You can see for yourself, he doesn't handle, well, people too easily. Sometimes I wondered if I did something wrong. The boy never looks anyone in the eye. He only lives for those armors of his, and he'd eat nothing but that cursed fish soup if he could. But his mother, may the All-Mother shine upon her soul, she always said that's what makes him unique, and that it's our duty to love him as he is. So I love him, and I support him with all my heart, but I'd rather not think about what'll happen to him once I'm gone. Arden, in the service of the Horns of the South? I can't see it. Although, if they'd let him have a forge in Amenta without making him fight or bond with others, who knows? That's something to think about. Thank you for caring this much. That could be a solution. Thank you for talking to him. There are days he doesn't say a single word to his own father. I have to slip messages between little facts about armor. It can be exhausting sometimes.
Have some spare food or coins?
Oh, hello there.
I like it when things are quiet.
Oh, well, that changes things. I still think he shouldn't be writing about something as serious as armor smithing, but if he's just a kid, I guess I can cut him some slack. Does he now? Well, if that's the case, that would explain a lot. I once had an apprentice who also saw the world differently. Never got my jokes, but I liked him a lot. Very focused, talented lad. But the other keepers made fun of him constantly. Morons that they are. And then one day he just vanished. The captain didn't even bother to declare him a deserter. Still, to this day, I wonder what happened to him.
Nice to see you.
helping that jailer with the weird face, are you? Might as well throw me in the stocks then. I ain't going down peaceful, that's for sure. I want to go to my family. What am I talking about? Everyone treats me like some old fool who doesn't know what he's talking about. I can see what everyone around me is plotting. I'll remember all of this. You hear me? I'll only speak to my family, and if you're planning to see them, tell them to come here and knock some sense into that girl. Maybe they will manage to get me out of this place. They should have come a long time ago. Lazy fools, dragging their feet. They live in the lower district. I'll go to them, but that cursed wench won't let me leave. Bollocks. There's been no Red Death since King Arthur's times. I bet she's the one who filled your head with all that nonsense, eh? Don't listen to her. You can tell right away that nothing good comes from her. Good folk don't end up twisted like she is.
Nice to see you.
Spare a coin for the hungry.
O All-Mother, keeper of day and night, shelter us in your embrace. Oh, I hope I'm not... Don't worry about me. I don't have much time left anyway. Look after yourself, though. You've got a lot of life ahead of you. My family, my daughter, her husband, and my grandson, we all used to live in this house together. Now, I don't even know whether they're still inside. I was visiting my sister in the borough for what might have been the last time. She's 2 years younger than I am, but she's always been sickly. When I got back, the plague was already raging. The Red Priests either took the others or drove them away. Nobody can tell me if they took my family to the island asylum, or if they're all lying dead inside, with flies crawling all over them. So I sit here and pray. What else can I do? Yes, of course. They heal people there. The Red Priests really know their stuff. And now you're healthy. I prayed to the All-Mother, although maybe I should start praying to the Prophet too, that the priests watch over my family in the asylum. That's nonsense. Admit it. You've taken some of Maggot's mushrooms, haven't you? Scaring an old woman like that? You should be ashamed of yourself. If you don't have anything useful to say, then leave me alone. Let me pray in peace.
Oh, is that you, Roy? Have you finally come to visit your grandpa? I won't listen to this drivel. One more lie, and you'll all regret it. Anyone could write such nonsense. That's it. I've had enough of your scheming. Goodbye.
Oh, hello there. I don't think you should be doing that. Damn it. Damn it. I know you tried. This isn't your fault. It's mine. Wilbur was my patient. I can't run this hospital all on my own. It's an impossible task. Someone with money, preferably. I won't lie. I've thought about it already. More than once. Someone who can supply us with ingredients. Maybe an alchemist. To make the medicines. At one point, I even considered asking the Red Priests for help. But Neonte would have my head. Then I thought about Orwin and the Merchants' Union. But I can't abandon the patients. just to have a long discussion about the business prospects of a failing hospital. Huh. What doesn't she have against them? First, she abhors the doctrine of K on a purely theological level. Her words, not mine. And then it's all about politics. She says the influence of the Red Church is undermining the position of the All-Mother on Avalon. I don't know. Maybe people just turn to whoever is willing to help. If the priestesses aren't enough, someone has to step in. I know. That's why I'm hesitant. But some of them are also quite innovative. No one can deny that their research into the Red Death has led to real progress in medicine. I suppose if I were ever to run a hospital with one, I'd have to make sure they don't get too ambitious. You do that? For me? Why? I just told you the hospital has no money. I can't pay you for your efforts. That's very noble of you. But still, when the hospital is back on its feet, I'll find a way to repay you. Thank you. Even if it doesn't work out. Your offer means the world to me. I've been alone with this for so long. It's good to finally have some hope.
If you're here to chat, you've wasted a trip. Speak up or ship out. I've got things to sort. Well, are you standing there for a reason, or is the scenery here all that captivating? Jobs. Check the notice board outside. There's always something that needs doing, and I don't have time to spell it all out. Can you read? Can you lift more than a feather? Then there's work for you. Pleasant is for feasts and fair days, neither of which you'll find here. I'm here to keep us supplied and alive, not to make friends. If you need coddling, you've come to the wrong place. I'm Shine, quartermaster of Camelot's Legion here in Kunat. My job is making sure this Legion doesn't fall apart from lack or neglect. A thankless Legate Denholm runs the show here, and I make sure his boots are on solid ground. He's got a head for strategy and a heart for politics. He dreams of dragging Connacht out of the muck and into Camelot's arms. I just keep the wheels greased, so his grand plans don't grind to a halt. My story? Huh. It's locked up tighter than our armory and just about as useful to you. Focus on what you need to do, not on digging up dirt. I don't know where all that eagerness comes from, but I'm starting to think if I had 10 of you, my job would be a whole lot easier. And as it happens, I might have something for you, though it's a little different from what you've been doing so far. It seems that over the past few weeks, some of our supplies have been going missing. Just small amounts, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even notice at first. But when I checked the books at the end of the month, the numbers told the truth. Someone's been stealing the Legion supplies, and I won't stand for it. At first, it was mostly just food, so I figured it must be rats and set up some traps. But not only did the traps turn up empty, the next time I checked, a hammer, a saw, and a couple of knives were missing too. I don't know about you, but I've never heard of a rat that can chew through iron. I thought I did. One of the lads, Percy, volunteered to guard the supplies. Seemed like a decent enough guy, but, well, I guess I was wrong. The next day, Percy was gone, and with him, even more of the supplies. His mates swear he'd never do that. They say that the army was his entire life, but I find it hard to believe. The problem is, the thefts haven't stopped, so I'm guessing he had some accomplices. In the storefront nearby. Maybe you'll find something, because I am all out of ideas.
Doing okay? Hello there. Looking for solid, affordable gear? You've come to the right place. Ah, but where are my manners? I'm Alwyn, and you, my dear stranger, look like you're in dire need of a resupply. Well, the men here doesn't seem to be on the verge of dying anymore, and with the Camelosians around, business is booming. The longer they stick around with nothing to spend their coin on but our stalls, the better for us. It's a bit of a shame I'll have to delay visiting my brother at the Horns of the South, but he'll understand. He always says he can't leave his stall for even a single day. She is? That's interesting news. Though I had no idea the hospital had financial problems. I thought it was funded by our brave Camelosian army. Or was it Lord Yvain? I can never remember. That I don't doubt. But you see, I prefer it when business is simple. Complicated sounds like the opposite of a good opportunity. Maybe not. But when someone brings me a business opportunity, they should at least try to convince me it's a good idea. That's up their grandmother's miracle recipes than pay for something they used to get for free. I need some concrete ideas. Now that is an intriguing thought. I like it. We've healed the men here. Why not heal everything? Of course, we'll need to think about other ways to secure profits before word gets out. But you're right, the potential here is undeniable. With the right strategy, this could turn into something truly remarkable. Not just me, I hope. We'll need backing from the rest of the Merchants' Union. Start with Bonksy and Osmond. Get them to join in. And talk to Irwin, since we'll need an alchemist. The more support we have, the better.
What brings you this way?
Oh, forgive the mess. I didn't really have much choice about where to set up my things. Normally I'd be in a tavern, but, well, it looks like the tavern is closed until further notice. That means Varel's bookshop is the only place where I can read and work in peace. Oh, of course, my apologies. I'm Imran. My thoughts tend to drift far from the present. I'm a scholar of sorts, though not the kind that hides behind walls of parchment. My calling is to seek out traces of what was lost, ruins, relics, anything older than old. And yes, I'm a Pict. Not many of us wander these lands, I know. Staying in one place isn't exactly in my nature. So I travel, I learn, I dig through the bones of the world hoping to find something more ancient than mankind. If you're asking out of politeness, let's just leave it at this. I thank you for your interest, but I won't give an answer. Trust me. I could talk the hind leg off a donkey. No need to waste time on such things. Wow! That's really kind of you. So, thanks to Varel's generosity, I managed to get my hands on a certain book. Well, once a book. Now it's just a pile of loose pages. However, these are some truly fascinating loose pages. They're the writings of a Dalariata scribe from nearly 6 centuries ago. Incredible, right? But what's even more astonishing is the content. This man describes encounters with people who knew nothing of King Arthur or the homelands. Nothing at all. Do you understand what that suggests? Ah, I'll tell you. It's so exciting. I suspect Avalon may have already been inhabited by a race similar to us, long before our arrival. I've traveled across much of the island, and I've come across some mentions of the people of Farpoint. A place far in the northernmost reaches of Avalon. Few have ever ventured there. And so, my friend, here we are, staring down the question, or rather the flood of questions that wouldn't leave me alone. Many Picts I've known have prolonged contact with the weirdness. I thought it was just them, a bunch of lunatics, who first dared to embrace that strange force. And what if it was the first men who knew how to live alongside the weirdness? And think about it. If we could uncover how they did it, the possibilities would be endless. It could change everything. Perhaps the weirdness started to gather and ruin their crops, or made hunting more dangerous. Or maybe it was some sort of conflict that forced them to seek a new place on the island. Or perhaps they simply had a nomadic spirit. It's hard to say with the scraps of information I've managed to gather so far. But now, I'm trying to pull together more valuable information from these writings. But honestly, I feel like I'm hitting a wall. I won't uncover anything new here, and unfortunately, I'm stuck here for the time being. I got injured on my way to Connacht, and I'm not quite back to my full strength yet. Oh, don't worry about that, really. It's more of a, let's call it an occupational hazard rather than an actual ailment. I have to give myself some time and everything will settle back into place. I'll be as fit as a fiddle, or whatever it is you say here. Yes, something like that. The Grotto of First Men. That tribal scribe detailed where it should be located. And I'm assuming you're asking for a reason, aren't you? I'd love to go there myself, but this is a matter of some importance to me. I don't want to wait for this one. So, if you're one of those bold souls who take such ventures, I'd be more than willing to entrust this task to you. Truly excellent. I'm deeply obliged, my friend. Here are the notes. They should guide you to the location. Return swiftly, and more importantly, safely. I'll eagerly be awaiting your return. The place seems to attract trouble. Not a good place, then. I'd run out of breath listing all the things that plague this place. And I haven't even been here that long. Of all the misfortunes these poor people are facing, I'd wager the men here is the gravest of them. The Red Death, troubling as it is, seems manageable, at least with the intervention of the priests. But the weirdness, shoot. If the men here goes out, these people will face a far greater peril than any sickness or human form of conflict. I heard she was a Dalariata who runs a bookshop in Connacht. I was a bit apprehensive about meeting her. I thought I'd find someone overly rattled and stripped of her own cultural heritage. But Varel, she's different. And I admire her work that she even bothers to do it. Sometimes, it feels like people have lost all interest in discovery, whether it's the kind found in verses or the kind waiting out there in the wide world. Safe travels, kind fellow.
Welcome to Vrel's bookshop. Nae reading without buying. And if you're here for porn, kindly leave before you start. Aye. Look, I don't begrudge anybody their reading habits. Each to their own. But some things should be kept private. Aye. Not only can I read, I can even make recommendations. Imagine that. So, if you have a joke to tell, don't bother. I'm pretty sure I've heard them all. And then the shopkeeper says, "Huh, it must be raining." Told you, I know them all. Maybe one day, I'll even compile them into a collection and burn it. This shop belonged to my late husband. We met on the road. I was a mercenary hired to protect the caravan. He was a fine older gentleman, fascinated with a Del Rita lass who shared his love for books. It was a lethal combination for my poor heart. We didn't get near enough years together. But we were happy. We didn't have much family left, and they couldn't care less about this place, so he left it all to me. Well, I can't just take the shop and hitch it to a cart, can I? Although I suppose that might be more or less what I need to do. I didn't hate living here, you know. It was fine when my husband was still alive. I even thought people were starting to warm up to me. And then he died. And the respect died with him. And then Camelot arrived. Everything just went downhill for there. Aye, it would be. Del Rita know how to work stone in the most intricate way. But we're also quite fond of grandiosity. I'm afraid I'll have to ask you not to part with it just yet. The stone wardens are waiting for it, and I can't really be seen lugging it around. But it's far, and you're very strong. You can handle it with no problem. Here's the reward I promised. And I'm sure Kvor will have a little extra something for you too. Give me your map, and I'll mark their camp. Here's the reward I promised. And I'm sure Kvor will have a little extra something for you too. Hello again. If you need anything specific, feel free to ask.
wasn't expecting company. Elixirs, powders, ointments, got something for wounds, poisons, something to keep you on your feet through the night and help you survive the cold. And all of it made by my own hands, with science. No tricks, no vile spells. Yes, all magic is a scam, an illusion that pretends to give you something but always takes more in return. My elixirs work because they're based on knowledge and experience, not some fickle power from another world. Anyway, go ahead and read my anti-magic manifesto. I've laid it all out, why the magical plague must be wiped from Avalon. And I assume you're here to hand me an invitation? Let's skip the pleasantries. Why would merchants take over the patronage of a hospital? And why should I have anything to do with it? Touching, but I'll have to disappoint you. I couldn't care less. The people of Connacht have always had a knack for entrusting their lives to magical scarecrows, like that menhir looming over us. As you can see, wisdom isn't their strong suit. If you don't have a better argument, we might as well end this conversation now. It's true that my business has been struggling for some time now. The priests are to blame. Ever since they started strutting around Connacht, people have been hesitant to use the services of alchemists, afraid of how the Red Church might react. Fine. You've got my attention, but you'll have to put in some effort. Not yet, but who knows what those rats will come up with next. They've already shown they're clever. Quarantining an entire district? Sure, why not? Carting people off to the island asylum? Absolutely. They're turning the Red Death into some incomprehensible nightmare, using methods far removed from anything scientific or rational. I wouldn't be surprised if they start meddling with my business soon enough. I've been having a serious problem with my supplies lately. The Red Church is hoarding every remotely valuable alchemical ingredient for themselves. Here's a list of items I particularly need. Come back when you have everything. Then I'll join this union, whatever that turns out to be. Now off with you. You've got plenty of work ahead.
Always a pleasure to see you. Welcome! I haven't seen you around before, but since you decided to visit, I can tell that you have excellent taste. One day, a friend of mine asked me if her new dress looked good, and I told her, "You have excellent taste." She was tickled pink and said, "Oh, do you really think so?" And I said, "Absolutely. After all, you came to me for advice." Now, let's get down to business. My name is Osmond. If you're in need of a bow or some arrows, I'm here to explain everything and offer you some advice. No. Good advice is always handy, especially when it comes from someone experienced. And believe me, when it comes to archery, I'm not just an expert. I'm beyond that. In fact, I'd be surprised if you found anyone on Avalon who knows more about it than I do. Well, find me someone else who's been doing this for over 40 years. Every aspect of it. Back in '84, I was chosen to represent Connacht in the team archery tournament. And I wasn't even a lick over 18 back then. During one round, we were shooting at targets 100 meters away. The target was the size of a small apple and the wind was blowing from the left. So, I took aim and wham! Right in the middle. Even the captain of the Camelot team jumped up and asked, "Have you got any more like this one? Maybe the boy would rather shoot for us." If you were older, you surely would have heard of me. I could have been the first of Avalon's archers. They almost knighted me. But as it happened, I joined the watch, got married, and... well, that was that. Hey, if only I'd had the common sense back then that I have now. About Connacht, what do you want to know? There's not much to say. They told us the menhir's gone out, and now they want to move us along with it, but the way they're handling it, they've been here for weeks. If I were in charge of the Camelot troops, we'd have been done in 3 days. He's a good man, but that woman of his, oh, mother preserve me. She once set herself on fire along with half the mansion. Yvain nearly lost his life trying to save her. Honestly, I'd have just let her burn. She wants to go up in smoke, be my guest. It's a shame about the mansion, though. I was born here, and I've been shooting a bow ever since I was a wee lad. Even as a nipper, I had better aim than boys 5 years older than me. Around 81 or 82, I remember being allowed to practice with the adults, even though I was only 14 or so. One time, our master, we called him Uncle, gathered us in a meadow. He said, "Lads, we're gonna have a contest. Whoever shoots the farthest gets a honeyed apple and a beer from me." They were shooting and shooting, but I just took one glance, aimed, and whoosh. My arrow flew half again as far as their farthest shot. 300 meters, easily. So they turned to me and went, "Come on, Osmond, we can't compete with you. You always win." Osmond, you always win. That's what they said. I could have joined Camelot's army. With my aim, they would have made me one of the royal archers. But leaving was tough, especially since the girls here love to watch me shoot. They'd squeal with delight every time. And in Camelot, during a war, who knows what might have happened, so I decided to stay in Connacht and join the Watch. In the Watch, I taught others to shoot. Some of them loved those lessons so much they kept practicing even after sunset. So I'd ask them, "What are you doing here? You can't even see the target." And they'd reply, "Oh, but the lessons with you are just too short, and we're really excited about archery." I kept participating in tournaments. People often bet against me, claiming I couldn't hit a bird in flight, or a birch as thin as 2 fingers. I usually came out on top, earning a decent amount of money. But somehow it all just vanished over time. Then I quit the Watch and began trading in top-quality bows and arrows. That's all there is to know about me. Oh, and I have an adult daughter, but I'm not sure if she's still around. She left Connacht and, we lost touch. Gossip is for women and innkeepers. You should see Morag for that. She's both. She's a good one. About 3 years ago, I helped her fix her roof because her husband had died, and there was no one else to do it. She still mentions it. "Osmond, you fixed that roof better than any roofer could." She tells me that every time she sees me. As it happens, there's something you can do for me. I've written a letter to Lord Yvain, a few suggestions on how, in my view, he ought to handle this whole business with Camelot. Figured he could use a bit of advice from someone with strategic sense, a head for negotiation, and a touch of military experience. Would you take it to him? You've got younger legs, and I'd rather not leave my stall unattended. I'll give you a few coins for your trouble. Brilliant! Here you go. Just don't lose it. I've only got the one copy, and I've no mind to write it all out again. Hello again. What do you need today? Ha! I'm not surprised he's asking me. Without my financial backing and, more importantly, my experience, most of the guild's investments wouldn't stand a chance. They really value my involvement, and that gives me leverage. In other words, I can do a bit of bargaining. Have you heard the legend of Robbie of Grubwood? A bandit who stole from rich merchants and gave the gold to commoners. They say he was an incredible archer. At least, that's how the story goes. People say the same about me, but I'm still waiting for someone to write a song about me, like they did for Robbie. It's only a matter of time. Robbie's long dead. I heard someone in his gang betrayed him. He's buried in a tomb not far from here, along with his bow. And that bow has been on my mind for a while now, you see. According to legend, it's made from centuries-old yew, and enchanted by a druid whose life Robbie once saved. Bring me that bow, and I'll support Alwyn's investment. What do you say? That's what I like to hear. I always say sticking close to older, more experienced folks is worth it. There's so much you can learn from them. Am I right? Of course I am!
Nice to see you. You're not here to talk about the men here, are you? Oh, please say no. I've had my fill of that topic for a lifetime. Oh, there are far more exciting things to chat about. Like treasure hunting, for instance. You got a look about you. I bet you've been to some dangerous places, haven't you? I'm Bonksy, by the way. I'm an adventurer myself. I have a few trinkets to sell from my last expedition. Want to take a look? Oh, I'm not entirely sure. I'm just passing through. From what I understand, Camelot wants to move it to their place along with the inhabitants, but they prefer to stay. They want to live in one place their whole lives. Can you imagine that? Oh, all different kinds. Like the ones where you crawl through damp caves or cold tombs, dodge traps, and hope whatever's growling in the dark isn't hungry. Really? Oh, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, maybe I am. But I managed just fine. And I wouldn't trade this life for anything else. If I had to stay in one place, I'd die of boredom. Oh, I just take old, forgotten trinkets. They're no use for the dead anyway. It's not robbery if nobody's around to miss them. Think of it as giving treasures a second chance to shine. A trip to the caves by the bay in the south. The bandits set up a camp there, so I decided to go after their loot. After all, stealing from a thief isn't a crime, right? They were drunk, so I thought I could sneak in and grab the treasure without any trouble. But I guess I underestimated them. They caught on and started chasing me. 4 or 5 of them, I think. I made it to the exit, and then there was a giant ogre on the beach. I barely managed to slip past it, and the bandits backed off. You bet. Crazy stories like that keep happening to me all the time. I usually barely manage to escape with my life. And I owe all my luck to my magical hairpin. I picked it up from a delightful wandering merchant who goes by the name Malachi. He said the hairpin was blessed by the Lady of the Lake herself. I'll show you on the map where I last found him. You should see some of the artifacts he carries. Real treasures. Slowly but surely. In Connacht, fewer people than I expected are looking for artifacts, potion ingredients, or adventuring gear, so I'm counting on travelers. Like you. You must be interested in unique enchanted items, right? Oh, of course you are. I've got something, well, peculiar. But it comes with a fascinating story. It's a piece of armor I found on one of my expeditions. A beautiful, knightly breastplate with just one tiny flaw. It screams in pain when it's struck. It's kind of funny, but I'm afraid not many people have the sense of humor to wear it. I'll let it go for a mere 200 coins. All right, deal. I just want to get rid of this gear and hit the road. Oh, one more thing. This armor came with a letter. I found both in the ancestral tomb of the Gévaudan family. Oh, I'm a little jealous, to be honest. This sounds like the beginning of an exciting adventure. I chased the trail myself, but first, I need to sell off my finds so I can travel light. With a full coin purse, of course. Good to see you. I don't know. I got an offer to supply ingredients for healing potions. But honestly, that doesn't sound very exciting. My adventures are more about leaping over chasms and escaping collapsing ruins than gathering wildflowers. Maybe so, but it's still not worth spending as much time on it as Alwyn wants. I could be exploring underground labyrinths or running from guards across rooftops instead. That would turn my travels into a list of chores instead of an adventure. No, thank you. I'd rather focus on the experience than constantly think about work. I'll turn Alwyn down. Life's too short for boring stuff like that.
Oh, hello there.
Good to see you.
Help a soul out on your journey with... Yeah, huh? Ah, yes. Yes, now I remember. I remember it all. On the 14th day of the month of Oak, a procession dressed in red passed through. They dragged people from their homes. Eventually they came for us as well. Me and my Brianna, our possessions. They took everything. Took it all for themselves. Now, I have nothing left. I'm just a poor man. Please, save me. Please. Back then, I lived in the borough, near Camelot, you see. I was there when the priests came with a crowd of penitents, dressed in robes made of parchment laden with the word. The priests cracked their holy whips and delivered fiery speeches. No more Red Death, no more suffering. No, but I was cured nonetheless. I gave up everything for the cure. I gave up Brianna and all my possessions. I had to cleanse myself. Yes, now I am pure. Can you see? Can you see? Yes, now I am pure. Can you see? Can you see? Thank you. Thank you. May the word of the prophet guide you.
Oh, an adventurer. Great. Just the kind of person I need. You dress funny. No one from here walks around looking like that. And there's something in your eyes. Can't quite put my finger on it. But your gaze isn't the same as the folks around here have. So, if you're not from Kunacht and not from Camelot, that makes you an outsider. And an outsider means adventurer. I've been trying to get the guards to hear me out, but they just roll their eyes and tell me to stop whining. But I swear, something's going on. I think we've got a problem with Camelosian deserters. Aye, I agree. But they won't. You know why? Because that would mean admitting they have deserters in the first place, and that's not Camelot's style. To the outside world, it's all smiles and sunshine with them. They need to keep up appearances, make sure we're all eager to relocate to Camelot. Deserters, I tell you. Roaming the area, sneaking into camps, stealing anything that isn't nailed down. Supplies, tools, maybe even weapons. And do you think anyone cares? Of course not! I want my family's heirloom back. Look at me. I'm a poor man. That trinket is all I have left. It's not even that valuable, to be honest. I just like to look at it and remember my family. How great they were. I'm the last one left. Please. I heard some of the guards gossiping about a camp nearby. I'd start there if I were a brave adventurer and all. Just be careful out there.
Have some spare food or coin?
Oi, you. You're new here, aren't you? I don't think I've seen you around before. Ah, no, sorry. It's just that we don't see many new faces around here. Just us and the locals and, well, if you haven't noticed yet, they're not the friendliest bunch. Do they? Then maybe we're all just sick of looking at each other. I'm sure they're not all bad. This must all be quite hard for them. But it's not like I want to be here either. I've got a pregnant wife waiting for me at home, and they won't even let me buy a book for her. Yeah, about birthing and labour and whatnot. It's going to be our first, you see, so my wife's worried sick. I wanted to send it to her, to ease her mind, you know? But that Dalrita wench chased me out of her bookshop and won't let me back in! I know, right? And here I thought I'd seen everything. I was sure they didn't even know how to read. Anyway, Vrel seems to hate my guts. Ugh, because she hates Camelosians. Why else? I mean, I know the folks ain't exactly happy about us being here, but Vrel? She's Dalrita. They're taught to hate us from birth. That's all there is to it. Well, could you? I'd be really grateful. Just don't tell her it's for me. She won't sell it to you otherwise. Please, I'll pay you back. I'll even throw in something extra. Please, for my wife. Oh, thank you. You're a lifesaver.
Ah, here's our troublemaker. You've really caused a stir around here with that spectacle in front of the Menhir. I had everything in order. The cart was ready, and people were all set to move to Camelot. But now, you appear out of nowhere, and suddenly a dying pile of stones lights up like a bonfire. That's bad. That's very bad. Firstly, because now I have to write yet another report to Camelot that we're going to be late, and that they need to send us even more supplies. Secondly, you've somehow reignited the Menhir, and this has reignited people's hopes that they can stay. And that's dangerous. And before you ask why it's dangerous, take a look around town. The recent Red Death outbreak took its toll, and I'm pretty sure things are just going to get worse and worse. But you should be thankful to them. Their hopes are the only reason we haven't locked you up for sabotaging our initiative. That's the assumption I decided to go with, and that's why we're talking. Perhaps there's still a chance to sort out this mess. You can go tell Murig that your presence doesn't change anything about our deal, and that you are unwilling to help with his endeavors, whatever they may be. And if he doesn't listen, play along, but come back to me when you learn what he has planned. Isn't it obvious? For the safety of all the residents of Avalon. Only by gathering the Menhirs in one place and reigniting them will we be able to keep ourselves safe from the weirdness. Avalon's population has significantly declined over recent years. We're on the brink of extinction, damn it. That's why we need to stick together, to take care of each other. Only Camelot possesses the necessary infrastructure to establish the right conditions for its people. If they remain here, they will die, either from the weirdness itself or from the horde of monsters it spawns. And there aren't enough soldiers here for their protection. You must know that I didn't come here just to obey orders. I truly believe that this is the only way to save everyone on Avalon. Then at the very least, we'll have bought some time for those wiser than us to think of an alternative solution. Perhaps we will invade Tuathan, like in the glorious old days. Or perhaps someone will find a way to free the derelict fleet, allowing us return to the homelands. I don't know. But there's one thing I'm certain of, and I'll repeat it as often as necessary. Only by standing together can we overcome the weirdness. Scattering our people across the island is the worst solution, and it's a sure path to our ruin. Murig, who apparently prefers to be called Maggot, is a druid, even though he may not look the part. And druids are the only ones who know the rituals necessary to ignite the Menhirs. Due to bad luck, or more accurately, the decisions of my superiors, our options for druids are limited. That's why I'm forced to work with Murig, and prophet be my witness, neither of us is happy about that. But I'm no fool. I know that what happened in front of the Menhir might make Murig consider double-crossing us. He'll try to find a way to reignite the Menhir so that it could stay in Kunach despite our agreement. So, if you ever find out what he's planning, if he ever asks you to fetch something for his ritual, you make sure you come to me first. If only it were just one. Sorry. You're talking about the poor man in hospital, right? He's a scout.
We've been preparing to evacuate the residents, and I sent him out a while back to make sure the route to Camelot was safe and clear. Looks like he tried to take a shortcut through the waterworks. That's where they found him, babbling and talking nonsense. The weirdness must have caught him. Pray to the All-Mother. Although, truth be told, although I've seen plenty fall victim to the weirdness, I've yet to see any divine intervention from our goddess. But you could help me. You look like someone who's seen a fair bit of Avalon and isn't afraid to travel alone. I could use someone like that to finish the job my scout couldn't complete. Of course, you'd be properly compensated. Take the road to Camelot, all the way to the Iron Gate, and report back on whether it's clear. Handle any smaller threats yourself, and tell me about any larger ones. The sooner the better. Think you can manage that? Great. Head out then. No need to write a report. Just come see me when you're back. I'll await your return.
Haven't seen your face around here before. A visitor, eh? Try to stay out of trouble. I'd rather not have to put your name on the bounty board. No, that'd be Sheena. I keep this camp running and make sure everyone's pulling their weight. Idle hands have no place in Camelot's army, especially not on a mission like this. Trouble is, we've got more work than men. So if you're looking to earn some coin, check the notice board. I've posted a few bounties. I can't spare any soldiers to deal with things outside of Connacht, but I'll be damned if I let those bandit scum run loose. I handle what makes soldiers fight. Sheena handles what keeps them comfortable. You want glory and gold? See me. You want a softer pillow or a warm meal? That's Sheena's domain. Legate Denham is in charge here. Sometimes I wonder if he upset someone higher up to get sent on this mission, because this place, it's a damn mess. Lord Yvain's acting like a maiden on her wedding night, the Red Priests are throwing their weight around, and the locals are ignoring the fact that they're all about to be swallowed by the weirdness. I have no idea how the Legate puts up with it all. But, well, at least he's got me to make sure his orders are carried out. I'm Immunis Askel. If you're here for war stories, forget it. I've no time to entertain idle curiosity. Most of the fighting's behind me now. I've traded my sword for paperwork. Not glamorous, but necessary. Once we're done here, maybe I'll finally retire. Then I'll have all the time in the world to spin tales for nosy brats like you.
I'll await your return.
You sure about that?
So, you finally arrived. Or is it the two of you? It's a pleasure to meet you. Call me Maggot. I don't like that other name Denholm and his men insist on using. I don't know, and that bothers me a lot. But I sense something lurking inside you. Something quite terrifying, I must say. All I'm sure of is that you've been exposed to vast quantities of the weirdness and survived. And that's rare. Let's say I have certain skills when it comes to magic. Yes, the Menhir. It responded to your presence. It reacted to you. And that's unusual. It means big changes are coming to our small Connacht. Do you know why all those Camelot troops are here? That's right. Unfortunately, they believe that by gathering all the dying Menhirs and placing them around Camelot, they'll stand a fighting chance against the oncoming weirdness. But they don't know, or they don't want people to know, that a Menhir is nothing but a piece of rock, unless it has been ignited by a special ritual. And if they were ignited once, they can be rekindled again. You see where I'm going with this? No. I want you to rekindle the Menhir in Connacht. I'm too old to play a hero, but I can help you become one if you care about things like that. And I, for once, would like to stand on the right side of history. That's the problem, you see. I don't have one. The moment the Menhir reacted to you, I felt something. As if a piece of my brain was trying to tell me something, but I couldn't quite reach it. I suddenly remembered about the Menhir rites, the ritual I told you about, and that there were 2 scrolls that contained it. But where are they? How do I even know that? That's lost on me. So, it looks like we'd have to take a little trip into the recesses of my memory, literally. Well, not literally. As entertaining as that sounds, you won't be dissecting me. I'm talking about a journey into the subconscious, not an anatomy lesson. Just a bit of mushroom potion and poof, you're on your way. Safest option we've got, relatively speaking. Do you think I want somebody wandering around in my brain, looking for memories I decided to bury? I like your eagerness, but I don't exactly have the materials required for this particular me. It's not like I'm letting people inside my mind every day, you know. Here's what we'll need in order to make this thing work. Just grab these and bring them back and we'll see what happens.
to your hovel, coward! Your armor won't save you. Tis but a scratch. I'll strike you down. Back to your hovel, coward. You are nothing but a... You'll pay for that, insult. My arm has never failed me. Show me what you are made of. Your armor won't save you. You are nothing but a... I will be your downfall. Your armor won't save you. I will be your downfall. Back to your hovel, coward. I will be your downfall. You'll fall to my sword. Your armor won't save you.
outcast.
Exile from my head. My struggle continues on the holy island of Avalon. When you hear the word, follow it. Set an example for others.
Up on me. You disturbed my peace. I see fear in your eyes.
You are nothing but a peasant!
Back to your hovel, coward! Such a shot! Tis but a scratch! Your armor won't save you!
Back to your hovel, coward!
You'll fall! I'll strike you down!
Back to your hovel, coward!
You'll fall to my sword! Show me what you're made of!
Nothing but a peasant!
You'll fall to my sword! I see fear in your eyes!
I'll strike you down!
Back to your hovel, coward! I'll strike you down!
Back to your hovel, coward!
I'll strike you down! I see fear in your eyes!
I'll strike you down!
My shield is a fortress! You're nothing but a peasant! I've had worse!
Show me what you are made of!
Show me what you're made of!
I will be your downfall!
Your armor won't save you!
Your armor won't save you!
won't save you. Back to your hovel, coward. My arm has never failed me. Back to your hovel, coward. I'm invincible!